And from our first day of selling, we made 9.4k. So I'm quite happy with that. It's a lot of money. We're up to 11.2k. And if you didn't catch what I did there, I did a little bit of a trick. So my car broke down because of my beautiful driving skills in the middle of the road. And when you're parked, well, parked is a nice way to say it. But when you're parked, let's say, in the middle of the road, you cannot get access to the sleep button here. So because I was fortunate enough to have just a little bit over $500, I was able to tow it to the nearest service, which is the only one in game, by the way, which cost $500 on the spot. And in that little location, which is right here, let me show you. So when you're placed in here, you can use the sleep button. So that's what I did to advance myself into the next day, pay for the repair of the car, and carry on. So that's pretty much it. And because I don't want to get sad, I'm gonna quickly eat something, even though I'm not gonna use that energy. Okay, let's continue. Another thing that I noticed, which I don't know if it does happen with update 0.4 in the current state, is the mouse pointer disappears if you're not moving it. So right now it's right here. If I stop moving it, and obviously I'm using the car, it will disappear, so it's no longer in the screen. I remember that I used to put it someplace else because it kept staying on, and I'm not sure if it was just user error or it's an actual thing that used to happen. But in any case, I do enjoy the fact that we no longer need to worry about this. Another thing is that the game now automatically pauses while you're putting display tables or anything that involves upgrading your shop. Previously, you were able to do this while the customers were still roaming around. And if I press my spacebar now, nothing happens. Spacebar was the input to pause or resume the game. So I think that is pretty nice that they've changed this, because one thing it does is it freezes the game in time. So if this person here would have been in front of this product display table, then I couldn't place it because it's obstructed, but now I can. And secondly, it also helps you with stopping the time, because if you do all these changes while the game still runs, you might find yourself, it's already, I don't know, 4 p.m, 5 p.m, maybe some shops are closing, and you won't be able to take advantage of the full day to do the things that you have planned. So another thing that is really, really nice. And here in the lower Manhattan area, which is the area that was recently added with 0.5, we've got mostly working class people, and we can see that if we look in the Market Insider screen. As you can see, 68% is working class, and the remaining percentages are pretty much an even split between middle class and upper class. You could compare it with Murray Hill, because it's roughly the same. The only things that are slightly different is the total buildings. So Lower Manhattan has 113 and Murray Hill has just 102. And if you look at the average retail price and all the other ones, Lower Manhattan would be slightly more expensive. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. And here in the maps view, you can see that we have a couple of new office buildings at 660 meters. And let's see if we could look inside. Yep, pretty big one. Nothing too crazy. I think this is yeah, it's pretty standard. It's the same as all of the other ones were looking like. I think the windows look a bit different, but it might be just me. And if we look at the rest of the things that are available here, we have a couple of residential buildings, of course. We got one in 96 square meters, looks like this. And then we have a couple of ones here, also at 96 square meters. looks exactly the same, but the buildings are closer to Murray Hill, so it's up to your preference. And if we look at the retail, like I said, a couple of buildings here as well. I chose this one because it was the best one available in terms of size and customers per hour and all of the other important metrics. We've got also warehouses which are spread around in the main area of the city, particularly Murray Hill. And with these ones we do have new designs. I haven't yet to find one, but once I do, I'll definitely note it. That's pretty much it for Lower Manhattan in terms of current state. Of course, if you don't know this about this game, it evolves with you. So right now, if I click office here, there's only 2 spaces available. If I look at residentials, there's only a couple of apartments that are available for me. Same goes for retail. But as the game progresses, more buildings are going to become available, because some of them will have businesses that are not that successful, so they have to shut down, or you're just not in the right state. And here in Totally Not IKEA, we have the decorative bookshelves, and as you can see, they look slightly different compared to the ones that you can buy for the stores. We got books with bookends as well, part of the items, and this is the large one, kind of the same costs, so I appreciate that. We got a stack of books here. We got new wall lights as well, which look quite nice, elongated and dome. So if you're planning to make some fancy decorations in your apartment, you definitely have more things to choose from. It also looks like we have a computer monitor now. There must be just a computer unit that we could purchase for the monitor, or maybe it's just like a decorative item as well. It's definitely interesting to see that this is also available. Let's see if we don't have a purchasing or logistic manager, if it works to speak with this guy. So they cannot deliver any goods, but did we get their contacts here? We did, so that's a good thing at least. Because I believe previously this wasn't working unless you had a person dedicated for that. And now that Lower Manhattan is open, there is no longer a restricted road access from this side, because if you open up the maps, city workforce was right at the edge of it, well, where previously there was an edge. So now you can go all around and carry on. And it's a nice thing to notice, especially when I've done this road, this trip so many times. It's a nice change in scenery. The time has come for us to choose a warehouse, and we can explore these new added ones. So the eyes are the newly added ones, and they look like this. They're very big, very wide. We also have a couple of other ones, I think L's as well. So H, we already had H before, and just if you don't remember, is a small one with the ramp in the middle. And I keep on looking, but I think because of my current game state, I've just started, it's only day 11, I don't have that many options available. But if you're familiar with my content, and if you've been watching any of my other playthroughs, you probably would remember that Murray Hill was usually filled up with warehouses. Like all these options here would have been warehouses. And look, this one is one of them, but it's occupied. So like I said, in my current game state, look, all of these. So I'm just just confirming. Actually, can we? Okay. I was hoping that we could have a peek, even though they're occupied. But as we progress, we will definitely gain access to more of these warehouses. And it appears that we only have access to the I's and the H's. And to be honest, with our current expansion, is not that. We don't require that big of a warehouse, but I know this will change in the future. So we're gonna go for one of these brand new I ones that are very large indeed. They cost $218 per day, but it is what it is. And now we're in a place where we have our purchasing agent, we have our HR manager, and we have our logistic manager as well. So in our snack test HQ here, this is what it looks like. There's not many changes that happen in terms of visual overhauls. It's pretty much the same. We have the logistic manager here, which is unassigned, so we're gonna assign it for warehouse 1, and we can add destinations. But of course we have no drivers assigned to warehouse 1, so we'll need to make a new hire for that as well. Other than that, we've got the HR manager. This screen hasn't changed that much as a contrast adjustment, which I very much appreciate. It's more clearer, if I may. But then again, none of the other options have changed. So if you click on the HR manager, you can see the primary average skill. You can adjust what the training goes up to. You can assign employees. This screen changed a little bit, but again, it's from a contrast perspective. So you can either unassign or fill. And of course we filled all of them. And then we have headhunters, and that's pretty much it. So next steps will be to just call these guys, where is it? The city workforce, and get a driver. So you go to the warehouse. Oh, sorry, not city workforce. See, I always get them confused. Is the other one Anderson? Warehouse 1, and we need a driver. We're gonna give them just 1 day because we need to get it fast. And here it is, our message from City Workforce. We can click on the candidates button and we have a driver, which is Dorothy here. Can hire, get to the warehouse, and of course assign her to the slot. And before we continue with any of these things, we need to go to HR and put her in for training, because later on we're gonna upgrade that van to a truck, and a truck requires a bit more skill to drive. And since we do have our purchasing agent, this is what the new purchasing agent screen looks like. Now with the logistic managers, things are literally the same. It's just the contrast that has changed, so it's not too different. And like I said, it's something that I really appreciate. So another thing that changed is the placement of all these items in the AJ Peterson store. As you can see, they look a lot better, and the checkout counters are now in the middle. Beforehand, they were placed on the sides of the store, And we have this nice tile that separates the products, and you know for sure that what you're looking at is part of the kind of the same category. So here we've got the restaurant booths combined with the trash bins and the cleaning stations. Here we have pretty much everything that we need for a hairdresser store. Clothing stores here, the window room dividers and the clothing racks, as well as the changing rooms. And then here at the end we've got the pallet shelves. It does look very nice, and here at the back we got the storage shelves, water cooler, so a bit more attention to the designs and making life easier for us. This is very, very appreciated from my end at least. I'm sure you guys would agree with me that it does look better and it's easier. So we've got a few messages from our employees, and as you can see our filters here have increased. If we go here we have import export goods because we didn't have enough money or a warehouse. All the messages are coming here, and then we have employees separately, which have basically new demands. But this is what it looks like. Again, something that I really appreciate because it's nice and easy to filter, and you also get notifications according to each of these filters.
And I believe this is the end of today's video. An important thing to remember is that some of these things we are seeing here might be slightly different before they hit the stable version of the game. And already one of the changes since I've recorded this video is that rivals now have an on and off switch if you decide to play a custom game. But overall we should be seeing roughly the same result. I hope this video managed to shed more light onto the upcoming update, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.